It's autumn. This time I'm not going to swear through the whole video. You watch. It's autumn. I've got my coffee. I've got a candle lit. I've already done this once and I lost motivation halfway through. So I'm doing this again. As it's that time of year, I think it's time we draw a moth or a mothfly or a bttom or something. Because, you know, because it's that time of year. Let's have a quick sip. Alright, decaf, because I've had enough caffeine already. Right. Right. We cozy? We fucking cozy? I swore already. Swear my life. No more swearing. Right, here we go. So, start. A4. Just going to show you the settings of A4. I'm doing a quick one today, so I'm just going to leave it at 300. Just so the pen flows a bit more. I'm not trying to get them little flash details in there. You can leave all this stuff the same as normal. 300 DPI. And yeah, save. I'm going to open that shit up. Swore again. I'm going to nick a paper texture from the one I started just a minute ago. And I'm doing this again. And I'm going to copy it and paste it in here. A pro tip. On the quick menu, if you have it open like this, if you hold that, you can change what the button does. Now I've got the newer iPad with the Apple Pen, whatever it's called, Pro. So if I click it, the quick menu comes up. And then I can change this stuff. So this is pretty damn sick. Anyway, so you got your first layer, got a paper texture in. I locked that layer. Lock that layer. Always lock that layer. Just do it. It makes it so much easier. And I'm gonna start a new layer. This layer we will call the sketch. Cool. Right. Sketch is in. Now, on layer 2, the sketch layer, get the click your spanner, go to drawing guide, edit drawing guide, symmetry. Now, it should just come up straight down, vertical. You can change the color of it if you want to see it better. Let's have mine set a nice magenta color. There we go, now it's always there. So this is an assisted layer now. I have got this little square on the side as a shortcut for assist, because sometimes I want to turn it off if I'm doing something that's not completely symmetrical. This sketch will pretty much be symmetrical the whole way through. So I'm just going to keep it on. Anyway, peppermint. Usually I'd go the eagle hawk, but recently I've decided I just need to slow down. I think I'm a bit too quick, a bit too haphazard when I come to sketching. If I'm doing like more organic shapes, like a face from reference or something like that, I'll use the eagle hawk to build up my values, my black and grey values. But because this is more about the shape, it's going to be like more of an ornamental thing and not so realistic. I'm just going to go slow with the peppermint. I am going to turn the size up to 100 and I'm going to keep the opacity at like 81%. I've got it saved as a little shortcut. If you want to do that as well, you can literally, wherever that is, if you hold it and then you can click it and that will save it as a default value for you. Anyway, so when it comes to moths and butterflies, the way it works in my head is there's like 4 if you're using a symmetry tool, main shapes. You got your main body, you got your smaller body, the bum part, and you've got your wings. Now, they will come out, for me, they come out of the main body at the top. There will be a small head as well. And these, like roughly shaped like that. Smaller wings at the bottom, which overlap the bottom part of the body and go into the top part of the body, and the larger wings at the top. And then from here, you just go mad. There's not much explaining left to do after this. Just follow along, draw your own one. But yeah, this is really how it goes. Like when I'm drawing them, usually I'll kind of have this flattish top to the main part of the body, and I'll like taper it down a bit more. Just feels just the way I draw it. There's no real reason for it. I just think it flows into the wings nice. That might be a bit too much, but we'll see. And then the wings kind of have this arch to them, like that. Remember I said I'm going to go a bit slower today. Slower. Yeah. And then you can have like, you can add little bits like what are they called? I've got a name, but like the segments between the bodies and these insects can be part of the design, you know. I like to have the wings kind of coming out a bit more like this. So they kind of come to a point under here. So if you can imagine, they'd fold, wouldn't they? They'd fold into the body. And then when it comes to this part, like these bumps will be used, like I'll use them to add detail into the wing. So where am I going with this? So let's just imagine for a momente. I'm not feeling this right now. I'm gonna add, let me just change my erasure, something a bit bigger. Something's not right here. What's not right? Do I not like this top part? I'm going to start the wing a bit lower. Yeah, that's good. That's better. Yeah, so I started there. It will end around here. And then it's going to come down and then kind of swoop up a bit more. Yeah, and then this one will come up and around like that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I'm Jackie. That one like that, sweet. Oh, cool. And then the top part of the body will kind of come over the top part of the wing. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. That's cool. I can make something out of this. There's always, whenever I draw them, I always add like quite a dark part on the tops of the wings here. So this will be almost black, this whole part here. Yeah, I'll go with that. Right, so it's coming out from a point. So let's imagine it's kind of coming out from around this area here. All right. So we're making these bumps, and they're going to be your like kind of guide to where these bits will go. So I do some like that. So some of these are coming straight up, and then when they get nearer the top, you can kind of bend them and fold them over so they follow the top part of the wing. Imagine the points in here underneath this flap, this wing flap. Yeah, so you can see there's the start of the shape. That's the start of the shape. Whoo, I've got some incense going. It's fucking strong. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Yeah, so that's your shape. You start building on that. Just build on that. You know, so maybe that comes down there instead. And then that part of the wing folds in. And then you can, I like to bring a bit more of this black stuff, like kind of around it, so like bordering it as well. But keeping this, it can be really subtle, but keeping these shapes on the edge of the wing, I think is really cool. And you got to think about it, like, because obviously we're drawing tattoo flash here. You got to think about it as how will it be as a tattoo. So you don't want to like overcrowd it, but also you don't want to leave too much space, or not too much space, but too much blank skin. So, and that's what I feel like can happen when you're drawing these, because all of this here is effectively skinned. So you've got to find ways to like fill that gap without it overcrowding. I'll give you an idea of how I would do that. So first of all, let's, I want to kind of make them all random. Remember, all this, for argument's sake, all this will be black. They have to be, but I feel like it, it kind of borders the wing quite nice when it's all black. And then what I'd usually do is, if you see a lot of moths and butterflies and stuff like that, they have these like random shapes within the wing as well. And I think they're good to do to kind of break up the inside. So they would usually be, I want them to kind of like be made from the lines that are already there, as if they're like, I don't know, folding in and out of the lines. So like here, but then when I come to tattoo it, for this one, let's say there's two. So this one will do black, and then this one will do white on the inside, or whatever the skin color is, like blank on the inside. Kind of like a black, or you could go with like a grey on the outside there. I think that'd be quite cool. And then you can kind of use that to work off some more shapes as well. Like you could bring out lines like this. I think splitting the wing in half is always good as well. And then sometimes when you split the wing in half, so yeah, look, it could come up to that circle, you could break in another line there. And sometimes when you split the wing in half, you can also bring in these like points. Let's go down on the brush a bit. So I'll take out the middle of that, so that's kind of blank. And you could add these like extra like spikes, and they can kind of taper from that line. So, you know what I mean? You're filling out the blank space with extra pattern. You just got to make it look like it flows. You can do whatever you want. Like you see some people do like skulls and faces and stuff like that. Do that shit if you want to do that stuff. Just add it in. Just want to fill out the space from within the wing. Whenever there's lines, make it like, how do you say it? Incorporate each line within itself. So if there's a cross section, if two lines cross each other, thicken out that area so it looks like they're meant to cross each other, and you're not just drawing over specific areas. You're not just doing random lines everywhere. Make it look like it has purpose. I think that's always cool. And yeah, so this now, like this part here, what I'd probably do, as there's less, I don't particularly like this part here, but that's fine. You can always come up with something. What I'd do is I'd probably grey out here, like so. Leave like one part skin colour, but all this black. So this part here would be grey, and then you could even grey out this part of the top here. Just another dynamic to add to it. And then you could just, pick a smaller brush maybe and just add a few more like joining lines. These lines can literally just be kind of emphasizing the flow of the piece, They don't have to have any shading in between them or anything like that. They can literally just be emphasizing on that flow. And then the same rules apply for really the bottom part as well. So the bottom part's got its own little shapes. so. Let me bring them in a bit more. So I want them to kind of almost all come out from that point there. Like that. That's it. And then you can have one coming from the other direction. Why the fuck not? You can make that work. And then again, like a half shape down the middle, like so. Make sure it doesn't just stop dead like there. You want it to kind of look like it's curving inwards to the wing. You know, emphasizing on the shape that's already there. And then the black bit, like I'll do another black bit at the bottom. Like this. So these will all be black. And then you can add like, you know, some of them lines I was talking about that don't need shading in them. Like this bit here, I'd probably do grey because it's near enough the body there. But yeah, you can add some more lines. You can even add another one of them like kind of splodges. So if we did this one like that, and then you could add just a random line around it. Remember, don't overlap when it's not needed. Join up to the line. Emphasize the lines. And on some of the lines, like, kind of taper them out of other lines. If you catch my drift. Yeah, that's cool. And then the body. So this isn't the last bit. I made it out like it was the last bit, then it's not the last bit. So on the body, you kind of imagine it like it's kind of like curving over and under a little bit. So if I started here with some like segments, and I'll just draw them all on, and then I'll add patterns, and they kind of get wider. The middle section gets wider as it goes to the bottom, and it gives you the illusion that it's kind of folding in itself a bit. And then you can add, so what a lot of the time I end up doing is like, you know, separating the lines, so there's like a kind of white bit in the middle, or you can make it dark, and then add in some kind of leading triangles that go up to the top. So each one will have this kind of triangle that will get a bit smaller from the bottom up. Like that. And then yeah, you can add other bits as well. Like you can add more lines just to define the shape a bit more. And then the top part of the body, now that depends on what you want to do. Like if this tattoo's quite small, you could just literally leave that as like just having a shine on the top, you know. I mean, obviously if you're doing like a death moth, you can have a little skull in there, you know, like, that might be pretty cool. But then usually if I'm doing a skull in there, I might make the wings a bit furrier, and if I'm making them furrier, they would all come down from here. But yeah, if let's say we're doing a skull, then just for argument's sake, because I've already started drawing it now. Obviously, like I said, you could pause this, get up some reference, man. Like I've been drawing this for a long time, so I can draw this stuff quite fast. And it's not even great anyway, it's all rushed. Yeah, then you can have a bit more of a chin at the bottom. Shouting, screaming skull on his back. That looks pretty cool actually. Might draw this one up properly, post it online. And then I add a little head at the top, and that will usually just be black with a little shine on it. And then if I'm feeling extra funky, I'll add some antennas and some legs and shit. So let's do that. We can make them, they could be cool. That's always a cool part, because you can add like a little moon or a star or something. Make it look a bit mythical, you know? You know, because like sometimes moths are quite magical, man. Especially when they come out in autumn. Like the magical things that float around and just kind of piss you off because they're blind all the time. It's mad when I see a big one though, when I see a big moth. It's crazy shit. Don't really get that many big ones in the UK, but when you do, it's like God has sent a message. He sent a message. You must listen, heed his warning. The moon will fall. Look at that, and you can add a little flipping diamante in there. Ooh. Oh, now it looks mystical. That's some Temple of the Moth shit right there. A black star. Where's it come from? No one knows. Then some legs. Maybe like... It's like, I mean, this is, you know, this is fantasy, man. This ain't real. Can have some sharp ass legs. Come on the bottom there. You ain't gonna fuck with this moth. Now add a little couple of croutons there. Oh, I just kicked the camera. Am I still on focus? Yeah. And a couple there as well. And look at that. Yeah. So I'm happy with that. But you get my point. If you like, you could have some fun with a moth. It's quite easy. Get that symmetry tool up and just like play around with some lines. Just make everything have purpose. I think that's my main takeaway from this one. Don't just draw the lines in because you feel like you need to add some extra bits, but just give it some, don't have too much free skin left in there. Keep the black to the minimum, not too much black on it, and then use shades of grey, different values to kind of fill spaces here and there over the top of the detail, and you could come up with something really cool. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please send me the stuff you make from this. If you make anything cool, send it over. Don't bother liking, subscribing or sharing. Just go and enjoy your day and sketch some more. Goodbye, love you all.